Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast of three brothers trying to figure it all out, with your hosts, Brandon, Colin, and Aaron. On this week's show, be soggy, I guess. Ahoy!
Ahoy! Yes, a great start. It happens when you drink your drink like the last possible second, like it turns on mid sip. Here I am. Hello, everything
coming in hot. There we go. We're still alive. We're doing well.
Doing a good start. That's important, right?
It is indeed something.
I don't know if I've talked about this before. I have a sign in my classroom. It's not like displayed because this would be a really awkward conversation with parents, but it definitely says dying is illegal.
Oh,
so
Excellent.
This is mostly because a lot of times sixth graders are I don't know if you know about this about 12-year-olds, but they're extraordinarily dramatic. And so they'll be like, oh, Mr. Funkhouse, this is so hard. I'm just going to die. I'm like, well, that's illegal. So get back to it. I don't really know what you're talking about. So that's the...
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's... I used to... I in my classes when I was teaching, and I'd say, okay, guys, hope you have a good weekend and don't die. Yeah. Your goal is to not do that, please, everybody. Yep, that's what I always said. It's one of the, some say, one of the best.
We're talking about, I remember it's like in the atmosphere unit, right? We're talking about like the composition of the atmosphere, and about how breathing in large quantities of gas not named oxygen is bad for you. And so we're like, I was like, this enables breathing. One of my favorite hobbies, actually. Yeah. Just do it all the time. Can't get enough of that. They're always like, what an idiot. Like, yep. Well, like it. It's fun. So there we go.
Yeah. It's, I definitely agree that you should do this more. For sure. Indeed. So, yeah, we are in the middle of it's kind of crazy. Like, we hired 2 people, but like, I'm still here. So like, I'm not gone yet.
It's not. So it's good news though. Like positive things on the horizon.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. We are one step closer. But it's just like I was telling Megan, like it feels frustrating because it's like, oh my gosh, like we just can't like move past this. And honestly, like if I have to be here, I would rather be doing like a lot of work because it just makes my time here more worth it.
Instead of like just doing like a little bit of work.
Yes.
Right. Like
yes. So I end up
as the boss, you're not like always working, but like, I mean, like actually doing the walks and stuff, right? Like you just have to do it like twice a day, which that really makes it like that makes it difficult. Like I could be doing other things.
Yes.
Like with my wife and children, perhaps. Like
stuffing things. So yes, I exactly where I wish, because that like this past Tuesday, and it sounds weird, like this is where I'm going, like sometimes I have enough work for like it's very, very busy, and then like last Tuesday I had 2 visits, right? So like it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to be here. And then
Wednesday, I probably had 70. So it's like, oh.
Yeah. And so that means that I can do other stuff for the business. But here's the real like, woo, I can do other stuff from my house. Right? Like
surprise.
I don't need to be here to call other businesses. Like I don't need to be here for that. So it's just like sure, like I'm working that other time and it's not that big of a deal, but also like so anyway, that's fun. But it feels good.
Sounds great.
Yeah, we're rapidly, like, we just hit, like, we're at 11 staff members now, which is like, whoo. So
good gravy.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's bad. No, it's fine. But we, we had, basically, it's like, okay, well, I lost a staff member. And this happens seriously every time of like the best way to grow is lose a staff member, because that's when you, like, it just works out where that's where everybody wants you. And so it's like, okay, we were down one. That means I need to hire two. And in this time it was like, okay, we're down one. Like, well, we need to hire three. And
is that kind of like, it won't ever rain until you wash your car, like that kind of deal. Like exactly. That's how it works.
Yes. This is exactly what it is like. It's exactly what it's like. And it's frustrating, but it's like, and it's also, I think it's also part of the, like, okay, well, we're in the growth phase. Let's go ahead and like really, like, let's push it. Like, let's do that. Like, let's really, since I'm in the hiring, I'm in the review mindset. We've got all our processes spun back up. Like, let's just do it. And so it's been been a lot, but we've got two coming in, started. And so that's been really good though. But man, I get really tired during training days where it's like okay, drink a lot of water those days, have my sponsor, not sponsor, favorite throat lozenges thing.
That's right.
Because it's surprising. It's like, man, that's right. I don't do a lot of talking during the day, and now I have to talk nonstop while I'm training staff members. And then the other aspect is when I'm doing training, I fall so far behind on my podcasts. Because you don't have any time for anything else, right? Yeah. Oh, I know. So I'm just kind of, there've been whole days where I've just declared podcast bankruptcy and been like, nope. Anyway, and just chucked them all away. So that's been fun.
Sad face. That's it.
Oh man, it has been, but that's it's fine. I'll get back to him maybe. But
oh dear.
And then of course so anyway, just that process is very interesting. And as far as bringing people on, and it's trying to make sure that we are a good fit for people. And I still have those concerns of like, I know you say you want to work here, but like,
I've been burned so many times. I know.
Do you? Or like, when are you going to leave me? So
for real.
Like, I've talked to Megan about that before, of this, like when the importance of, and I'm very mindful of this, of like the importance of my energy when I'm onboarding somebody. Because nobody wants to come into a company where the person is like, well, here are the things, like Grumpy McGrumperson. Like, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a jaded. We've all had that over, like, we've worked for some place and we're like, man, all the people who work here are just really jaded and angry. Like, it doesn't make you feel like you're part of something, And so trying to be, and I'm always really excited and hyper and
That is true, listeners. He's like this all the time. It's not an act.
It's not
all day, every day.
It's what I do. So anyway, it just I have to remind myself to like, okay, like, be present, be in the moment, be here for this person, because this person here is like, they're genuinely excited about this. They're excited to be here. They want to do this. And so I don't need to be the reason to rob them of their joy, right? I should be just as excited with them and help them integrate better. And I think about that a lot each time I'm talking to somebody, especially whenever like I've had a grading a day and then it's like, well, now I've got to go train this person, and trying to stay present with them is something that I really work hard on, and I know I don't always do well with it. So I've been having to caveat sometimes of like, it's been a long day so far, but here I am, right? Let's do this thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's difficult to like be on that much, right? Like to go and do that. Like I struggle with that this year at work too, right? Of like trying to be positive when like I'm very like distressed with my like bosses or like the state of things, right? Like why is my school still a construction zone 3 months after they said everything was going to be done, right? Like just dealing with all that, like it's so draining that like, you know, I could feel where there were some days where like I wasn't, you know, in the mindset to be the best, like most helpful person I could be, right? So I struggled with that this year, and I really had to like have some days where I was like, okay, stop making everything out of your mouth be negative. We gotta think about this a little bit.
Right, because you
try something else. Like we gotta.
Well, yeah, especially when you've got all these little, you know, little minds and these eyes on you where they're like soaking everything up, and I'm sure you definitely feel like they give back what you put out in some instances, and
yeah, for sure,
right?
So like, yeah, you're like they're like little mirrors, so you have to like really be careful. Like, if I'm like super grumpy and negative all the time, like, that's not what you want to put into a room of 12-year-olds. Oh no. Like that's not good. That's bad.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of like insecurity, right? That's the other emotion that they get. They know. They're like, oh, you don't know. Blam. Like it's like
he's weak. Take him down.
That's why your first year of teaching is like so hard, right? Because they're like, they can smell it. They're like, is that fear? Like they just like little sharks. So yeah, you do have to like take these times and like to be like, okay, here is like I need to like recenter myself for lack of a better term, right? Like and then decide like this is what we're gonna go with. We're gonna like right, like it's tricky, you know. It can be a hard thing to do, so you definitely just have to like intentionally. The hard part is noticing it too, right? Like being able to and being like aware of yourself and to be like, oh no, this is not good. I have to like something is wrong. I have to do something else, right? And like, but that noticing it part is the hard part because you get like spiraled and stuck in a thing, and then you have to be like, no, stop. I need like that's the hard part is the realizing it. At least for me, anyway. Other people might have a different perspective, but for me, it's hard to be like, oh no, I am the problem. Oh no.
No, it is hard. It is. I mean, that being introspective is hard in general. It is of being able to stop yourself in that moment and being aware enough of how you're doing, because why would you, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Like, unless you. Because you're just going through life, right? You're experiencing the world, and staying in real time is how our brains are wired to sit there and go, how am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling like that right now? Like that takes a lot of self-control because yeah, it's not a muscle that we exert most of the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. So it's should trick you. Oh, excuse me. I haven't talked all day long either. This is rough times.
So sorry.
It's all right.
Oh, and then so yeah, I've been in the middle of that, and then one of the things that we've been working on really hard on recently has been we are working on changing softwares for our business.
Oh, that sounds fun.
No.
That's the word I was going to go with.
Yes.
What a joy.
fun. It's a lot of fun. Hard,
What a joyous time you're going to be having.
Hard F on the fun. So we, it's, because when do you turn off the tap to the old one? When do you open the tap for the new one? Right.
It's like a Band-Aid situation. He's kind of like, go for it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You have to just rip everything out. Because I was driving and I was thinking about like, what's my order of operations? Like, do I bring staff over and then like give them a few clients, or do I give clients over and get handlers over a few staff, or blah blah? But it's like, no, it all has to happen at the same time. And I'm not looking. Like, it's really
does
needed.
Sound quite terrible. Like,
it's really needed. But at the same time, it's like, man, because we're bringing over like hundreds and hundreds of clients and training staff on it and working on training clients on it, right? Because we have a procedure and a stepwise process that everybody has learned and has known, but now almost none of that it follows over. It comes through with the new system. So yeah, it's definitely I've been really dreading this, but it's going to be good. It's one of those of we were badly abusing, I'll say that way, the one that we've been using, badly abusing it to make it work for us. And it's just time. It's just time to make the change. And it's one of those, there is never a good time to make that leap, to make that change. But so you put it off, right? You go, no, I'll do it a little bit. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. But now we're running.
That's how I do it.
Yes.
That's how.
Yes. Avoidance is the best way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
So yeah, that's what we're now looking at this, going, okay, we need to make this change, and we need to do this and go to a software that is specific to our industry. That's not something that we're trying to bolt on, and it's mostly because the one that we currently use, here's the pro. It is all phone based, so you do everything from your phone, and
that's good news.
It's all, and it is text native. So texting is how you interact with everything. Everything flows through text messages, and it feels really nice. It's really natural. It's basically just a messaging app bolted, and so with scheduling and payment bolted onto it. The problem with that is how the scheduling happens and how the payment happens doesn't really fit with what we do. And we've been with them for, 4 years now. And I was scrolling back through all of our tech support documents and realized that 4 years ago, there were things that were like, oh, that's in the next version. We're rolling that out soon. And they never appeared. And
I know you can't see, listeners, but I'm making a shocked face right now. Oh wow!
Yep.
Here, I'm so surprised by this.
Yep. Like, oh, that's definitely on the development roadmap. Oh, absolutely. Yep, that's coming up in the next big revision. Blah 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 blah. And that's huge. To go, you know what? Actually, this isn't like their priorities have been something that is not. They're not our priorities. They are like, they had a big rollout of like selling products, and I was like, well, I'm not a products person. Like, we're service only. And so all these big things that you just rolled out and all these back end things that you've been working on and you've been working hard on, sure, I'm sure they work great. We have no need for them. And so their priorities are just in a different space. And tech support is not good at all. And so that's huge, right? When you have a problem, you want to be able to talk to somebody, and it doesn't matter how lightweight, how easy, how cheap, or low cost something is. When you need help and nobody's there, like, that's, especially when your entire livelihood kind of runs on it. It's like, yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
It is kind of a big deal. That's true.
So yeah, we're this is you'll be shocked to know that we got access to for the new software. It's less okay. It is not as mobile friendly. It does a lot through the desktop. That's fine. There's tons of settings in here. There's so many toggles. There's so many little like blue blobs and blips and switches to flip and stuff. And you'll be surprised to know I immediately went to the theme setting to make sure that all of our brand colors were matching.
Once again, listeners shocked.
It was like add a service. Nah. Figure out how to add clients. No. I'm going to go play with colors.
This banner situation.
What's the hex code for my brand?
Let me find that.
Hex code? That's what I did. I went. We've got a brand kit, so I was like, let me go find the hex codes.
Yeah.
So that's what. Look, was it the most important thing that needed to be done? No. Okay.
Obviously,
but it's done now. That's all I'm going to say. And all of our services are now added, and I added nice groups to everything. So, and what is nice is we, with all of our client data, they all have, they've all filled out a bunch of forms, and we've got all this tons of information for every single client that comes in. We don't want to have to I'm not re-entering that, and I don't want to make clients re-enter that either, because that's not a good experience of like, hey, remember how you filled out these 40 questions a year and a half ago?
Do it again, would you?
So we found a way to export our data from the old company into a CSV, and we just shipped that off to the new company. And they were like, hey, thanks for the CSV. It's kind of weird, and we've never really seen it like this before. But we're going to have to manually enter a few things. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's not what you want to hear.
Well, right? I'm glad they're manually entering a few things. Like, that's
fair. That's true.
Right? So I was like, oh, of course, the exported the other company doesn't export it appropriately. So we're navigating through that, and it'll be good. It'll be good. One of the things that I'm excited about is we can generate. So right now, when we in a visit, we send multiple photos and a written report about how things went. Now we can generate report cards that have attached photos. We can write something if we want to, but then we just make a report card with a bunch of like questions and toggle yes, no, no, yes, and numbers. So it's like, how many treats did they get? You can put numbers in. So it makes it a lot less mentally.
It's like a more generic form instead of like having to remember to type all the things in your message or whatever.
Yes. So standardizes a little bit, and then we can still.
That's the word I was looking for. Standardized, not generic, because that's not the quite right word, but standard.
It works. But yes, and that is going to also decrease the mental burden on staff members, because if you have 10 or 11 visits in a day and you have to create 11 unique paragraphs, like, that's actually really hard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, to be inventive. And now we're still going to have a place where they can write additional things, but that way it decreases the again, that mental burden, increases the standardization for each individual staff member.
They just add like a little personal note about it, or whatever, and not like a whole shebang about everything.
Yes, yeah, and then it also decreases chances for spelling errors, and it's gonna be better. So
I feel targeted right now, but that's okay.
No, I'm awful at it. Like, here's where the spelling errors come in. Okay, we have a dog. Dog's name is Layla. How do you spell Layla?
The same way that Eric Clapton does. I would spell it what? Layla.
Yep. Nope. Leila.
GH. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not Leigh.
Nope.
That'd be Lee.
Nope. That'd be Lee. So, and then if you're doing voice to text, there's no way you're going to get Leigla. There's no way that happens. And so there's just like, and oh my gosh, and like so we went, and this is some cat names for you. Ewan Meow Gregor.
Yes, cat names are the best.
And a cat who is known for escaping is Toulouse le cat. Toulouse the cat.
Yes, yeah.
Toulouse le cat.
Wouldn't be le chat? Yeah, but anyway.
Anyway, yes.
People always, cat owners definitely usually go like extra with the names. Dog owners do it sometimes. It's not as obvious, right? My friend's mother once had a cat named Mr. Meowgie. That was good. That was great.
Good name. Great name.
So there's always really good ones, right? You count on those to be like,
yep, they're very punny and they're wonderful. These particular owners had a 3-foot version of Danny DeVito in their entryway.
So Danny DeVito.
Yes, and then a life-size.
Just kidding, Danny. Sorry, just jokes.
And then in their kitchen, they had a life-size version of Bob Ross.
But why? How tall is Bob Ross? Anyway, actually, now I think about it, I don't know.
Here, Bob Ross.
Be taller than you would expect. Was this life-size version like
6'2"? I don't know if that includes the fro. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Ooh, that is a good question, but also taller than I would expect from seeing him on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Would not expect Bob Ross to be 6'2".
And
just going to say that. That is. I'm trying to process this information right now. Like I didn't. There has to be without the fro, right?
Yes,
because you usually go to the doctor. They don't measure your hair.
No.
So that is that is shocking information that I'm learning here today. I did not know that Bob Ross was this tall.
Yep. So that was very interesting. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. And they were like, yeah. We put him in we have him stand in our kitchen when we leave so people think somebody's home.
Like Home Alone style?
And I said,
on a train track.
And of course, and I looked over and they had a record player and I said, I don't see him hooked up to the record player, so I don't know how that's going to work. And they got it. Like they were like, oh yeah. They got it. And they're doing it. And I was like, so I don't know how that's going to work. But here's your other movie reference for you. I want to know what you will say. Okay.
Oh boy.
So in a Facebook group, somebody said, I'm trying to think of a job title for one of my new staff members. They're going to be doing dog walking, pet sitting, and they're going to be the key holder and in charge of all of the keys.
So the key master.
So I responded with, well, I would say key master, but I know they'd have to get the gatekeeper, and we all know how that turned out.
Doesn't go well.
It doesn't go. And I posted the gif of him standing there going, I am the key master.
Oh yeah, when the door like blows open or whatever.
Yes.
Comes in the door.
Well, I did. The one I found was him talking to the horse. You remember when he walks around?
Oh yeah. That was good too.
Oh, I was. Oh, that's a good movie.
You know, I feel like because he's retired to do like family stuff, I feel like there is a great generational gap in younger children not knowing the genius that is Rick Moranis. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's a shame because he's a very underappreciated man in movies. I feel like people just don't understand. Like they have not witnessed the glory that is Rick Moranis.
Well, and he really was, and he just like, I think of the movies that he was in. Obviously, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but like Spaceballs, Ghostbusters, Little Shop of Horrors in the mid 80s. Like, or the Flintstones. I know he was in that one. Like, there's just, again, very foundational movies as a part of my life.
True. You're forgetting Little Giants Obviously, everyone loves Little Giants.
Yeah.
So, my favorite Rick Moranis movie is actually My Blue Heaven.
Oh.
It's okay. So this movie is it's pretty niche. Not a lot of people know about My Blue Heaven, but I'm going to shill it real quick here because this movie is fantastic. It's definitely Rick Moranis and Steve Martin. Okay, first of all, this is brilliant. Rick Moranis is like an FBI agent, and Steve Martin is an Italian mobster in the witness protection program in California.
He is so, oh my gosh, he's so funny. And
he's so good. It's just the way that they play off each other. Like Rick Moranis is like the ultimate straight man in this movie, right? Like
he is
just it's beautiful.
And
and Steve Martin strutting around being all Italian mobster. Steve is hilarious.
I don't know how I would love to see outtakes. I mean, knowing Rick Moranis, like how professional he is and all this stuff and how good these guys are, but like the outtakes in this, because Steve Martin is throwing himself at this. Like he's doing everything he can.
All his little like life advice, right?
Yeah.
So, like about like suit wearing and just like the rate. It's so funny the way he delivers it all. Like he's just like so serious, but it's like what?
Well, and his mannerisms, he does these little like head jerks and
obviously
stuff.
The mannerisms are great.
Oh my gosh, it's so great.
I'm gonna have to watch this movie tomorrow, actually. Okay. Just because it's so good. Just like him do that. They like the relationship advice with Steve. Oh my gosh, it's just so funny. Steve Martin finding out that there's other mobsters out there. That's the best part. I love that part of the movie. They meet and they're all like in a pet store or like whatever, and then it's like, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love
that's a good one. I like, yeah. Okay.
But again, that movie is not good without Rick Moranis, right? Like it would be funny still anyway because it's Steve Martin, obviously, but like it's not going to be anywhere near as funny without Rick Moranis to play off of. Right? That is the best.
He plays the foil very well.
Yeah. One more little known fact. I don't know if you know this, but Rick Moranis also has a country music album.
Okay, I did not know this. Okay. What?
It is called The Agoraphobic Cowboy.
What?
Yes. Oh yes.
What?
So it's like it's beautiful because like all of the songs they sound like they're all country songs, right? But they're all like kind of jokes, right? Like they're just my favorite one is called Press Pound, right? And it's like the song of like you're calling the girls and you're like leaving messages on the answering machine, right? Mm-hmm. That's what he's talking about. But it like it gets like increasingly awkward.
Oh right? No!
Oh. Whereas like the third verse is like, "I'm outside your house now. There's only one light on." He's like, so it starts out like they've broken up and like he's just trying to get answers and ask why. And then the second verse is like, it's a little bit much, but then the third verse is like stalker.
Oh my gosh!
And like him like getting arrested for stalking this person.
This is wonderful. Oh my gosh!
So good. The situation is bad, right? I'm not making light of the situation.
No.
Okay.
Stalking
is really bad. But the way that Rick Moranis sings about it on this song, it's so good.
This is crazy. You can You have your choice, dear listeners. You can go to Amazon and you can buy a brand new audio CD for $159. I'm guessing
it was only like this was like for like 2000.
Yeah.
9 or something, right? Like it's not widely available. 2006. Right. There we go. 2006.
Or you can just go stream it right now.
Yeah, it's streamable. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's great. 9 More Gallons. It's a good song. That was a good
I was looking at this. I was going to see. Can you hear this?
No. Don't get us copyrighted here.
I was just Anyway. Okay.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Man, that's great. I had no idea about this.
Yeah, you should find some time to stream for that because it's fantastic. Okay. Like the whole thing is great. My favorite one is the Press Pound song, right? But all of the other ones are also good. So like,
okay, I'll add that to the list.
Yes.
Hey, love it. So yeah, I've just been. I like that. What's been new with you? I feel like you've had, maybe not personally, but just like community wise, you've had some interesting things going on.
Oh yeah, it's strange things afoot down here, right? So we're definitely So let me see. The one of them, there has been yet another jailbreak at the old county jail. This one is like crazy though. So allegedly they are building a new jail, which is good because apparently I live in the Big Rock Candy Mountains and my jails are made of tin, right? And you can just walk right out again as soon as you are in. Because this time 7 inmates have escaped.
How?
They overpowered the officer. There was 2. It was at nighttime, right? Or more early morning, something. They overpowered 2 officers and like handcuffed them in a closet, and then like or something. So I don't know exactly what happened because they overpowered the officers. I think what happened is it was like one of those big cells with like a bunch of people in it. Right. And they were trying to get like one person, but then like they were overpowered by the other ones.
I see.
Right. I think that's what happened.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like. Again, I'm not 100% sure about this. This is conjecture. But they like handcuffed the officers and put them in a closet or something, or in a cell. I don't really know, because like other prisoners that were still in the jail like freed the police officers, right? So that was interesting. First interesting fact. Second interesting fact: they caught 3 of them immediately because they were just like strolling down the road. They were just kind of like, I think they were just like, okay, well, these guys wanted to get out and we were there, so
yeah, we'd rather not be out. Probably. I'm sure they were like
we're out, and now we're just like, oh, what are you? Somebody else, at least one other person, just no. Okay, so they caught 3 immediately. 3 immediately. One person like went to their family's house and their family called the cops. Right. One or 2 people just called the police on themselves and were like, yeah, we're over here. You can come get us. We didn't mean to. And they just like themselves in.
I'm a bit tired, actually. I'd rather.
Yeah, I think it's like, all right. I'm just joking.
Well, plus they were it's one of those things like they were smart enough to know the charges that they were in were probably not all that bad. So they were going, the more I do this, like the worse it's going to be for me. I'd rather have like, right? Because
or there's like, okay, well, maybe so I don't know about that, but like, and then there's one guy who is still missing, right? He is nowhere to be found. So I feel like he is the one that was sort of masterminding the whole thing, right?
You don't say.
And then the rest of them were like, oh, they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll do it," and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, just kidding."
JK, yeah.
So, JK. So one hardened criminal on the loose. He's like, it's like real bad. Like his stuff, I thought it's like not, it's not good. Like it's real. I don't, so he's not a great dude. Kind of dangerous guy. But he is still somewhere. It sounds like he fled far afield, right? Like I don't really know.
He's like gone.
Gone.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the one of the things. The other thing, the other mystery that we have going on down here is a doctor was reported missing and has been found dead in a lake in Arkansas.
What?
Yeah. So there's that, right? Like this is very like there's some weird like shady things happening. Like I'm not really sure 100%, right? So again, these are the facts as I remember them, not as I know them, because I'm not super acquainted with the case, right? But like he is a doctor down south of here, right? He was living in like a big luxury mobile home, just like in the parking lot of the hospital. Okay. So that's weird. He apparently is known to be a bit of a playboy, and his divorce was just finalized not too long ago.
Okay.
He has some other children, right? I heard that his child support payment was going to be astronomical, something enormous. I also heard that him and his friend and or brother have some sort of Bitcoin operation, something or other.
Okay.
Right. And so like his car was found like at the aquatic center. Just there.
In town or
in
down in Arkansas?
Yeah, in that town.
Okay.
His car was there. There was some sort of security footage of him like talking to somebody in the parking lot and then like walking away. And then he was found dead in the lake in Arkansas. So shot, I believe. So probably didn't walk to Arkansas.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I have no idea what the heck. Some shady business going along.
You don't say.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's real weird. It's real awkward. Like, what in the world is going on here?
Yeah, that's real uncomfortable. I mean, whoa, like, what do you even do with that kind of information? Of like,
yeah, right. Like, I don't even know what like you can do.
Right.
Like, they gotta do the autopsy, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just I don't know. I guess they're probably gonna have to find the car that he was talking with, try to figure out what that was about, right? Like, so I don't. It's very weird. And then they like interviewed his brother and was like, I didn't even know he was missing. He got kidnapped once before, one time.
I'm
like,
sorry, what?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, what does that even mean? What do you mean it's just casually like, oh yeah, he was kidnapped once before, right? Like, what?
How do you just drop that? No. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's not what you.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is intense.
Yeah, it's real crazy. So Lots of questions remain. Right? Why was his car in some random parking lot where he didn't, where it shouldn't be? Right? Why would he in Arkansas? Right? Like, what in Arkansas is going on? So, yeah, that's it's real weird. So I don't.
My goodness,
strangeness going on.
You don't
down here, right? Like
having all the fun and stuff.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Susan was joking, like, "Oh man, it's a good thing we're gonna." It's like she's like, "It's getting a little hot down here. It's a good thing we're gonna go to the big safe sanctuary of Boston." So like, it'll be
yeah, that'll get you, get you a little bit of breathing room, bring you a little bit more,
some be a little more at ease, right? Like,
so you are getting ready to, I believe, ship up to Boston.
That is true. I'm not going to be looking for wooden legs, though.
Well, you don't know. I mean, you might.
You never know. You never know what you find up there.
I would recommend at least keeping one eye open for it.
That's true.
But how many times are you going to play that on repeat? That's my question.
Oh, well, that remains to be seen.
Okay. Let's do the final count when I'm back.
That's true. It's just going to be just going to download every Dropkick Murphys album, I think, is what I'm going to do, and just blare it as loud as I can, so all the people in the streets know I'm their ally. Like, I'll be safe. They'll be like, "Oh, he's fine. He's okay. He knows."
I think that's what you do. I think that's how you make that work.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've obviously been reviewing, been watching Boondock Saints on repeat to get
early Ben Affleck, Matt Damon things mostly.
Yeah,
also that too, right? Just
to get and brushing up on the dialect. Making sure you can understand.
I have a hard time saying my A's that long, but give it a shot, right? Like, we'll see.
But you got to be able to, converse with them and make sure you understand the local colloquial sayings and such.
That's going to be difficult, right? Colloquialisms of Boston. We'll see. We'll see if I can find a yad, right? Like, we'll see how it goes.
Yes, just talk about go to the yad.
What is it? You got to pack the car and have a yad, right?
Yeah, pack the car. Lip of the lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys you're heading out. When are you heading out for that? Or you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to disclose.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
But what kind of places? Like, you have it lined up places you're going to go.
We're going with some friends and stuff. So it's like the kind of the old the colonial America toury stuff.
Okay.
Kind of. So it's like some Boston-y stuff, and then we're gonna go down to. So it's gonna be like the North End stuff, that kind of stuff, like the Paul Revere House. I think we are going to go to Salem. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
May or may not be a ghost tour in my future. I'm not real sure about this. We'll have to see. But
obviously,
be in the corner. I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks. I do. I'm like, I do. But yeah, some of that stuff. So it's like East Coast Blitz tour, right? I think it's like Boston, New York, DC stuff. Just kind of like that, hitting the highlights of the old kind of like colonial America, founding father stuff. I think there may be like a brief stop in Philadelphia, maybe. I think. Can't remember how that works. So on our way to somewhere else.
So is this an organized tour? Or is this one that you put together?
With
your
like
friends?
An organized thing that me and my friends are going. Us and our friends are going on. So
okay,
be pretty fun. I think. Good time.
Well, yeah.
See some sights.
Yeah. I was wondering if you and Aaron out on the East Coast. I was like, maybe you guys were going to try and meet up. But you'll be
going to be much further south than me.
A boot. You'll be a bit. You'll be a boot for north there.
Yeah, that's true.
He'll be a wee bit south.
Yes. Since he's like hanging out in Chattanooga, apparently. I don't know in the choo-choo, right? Like it's
a little bit of different kind of culture. That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, that's exciting. And you'll be going for you out there for a week or so.
Yeah, about a week, and we'll be back. So
okay,
it'll be fun. I think.
Yeah,
gotta find out. Packing is not fun. Not a good packer. So.
Okay. So what's your approach for this? What's the weather like? I mean, how do you dress for a ghost tour? I don't know. Are you
not
trying to dress
sure. I don't think there's a dress code.
Period pieces.
I don't know. I don't.
So you don't anger them.
I'm a little light on period clothing. So that'll be rough.
There's still time.
Yeah, it's true. Not really. It'll be. I guess I could Amazon me some shoes with buckles. I don't know.
They probably just have them in the airport there as soon as you get out, so you can make sure you dress.
They may, like when you stop by the Old North Church, and you're just like, oh, here, put this coat on. You're like, oh, okay, now I'm feeling much better. You stop by Paul Revere's house, you get the wig. You're like, oh, look at this, so curly, so low.
It really makes the whole experience come alive.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is Boston? I mean, I know you're traveling over a quite wide geographic area, so but I hope it'll be nice and cooler-ish. Probably.
I think it's supposed to be cooler in Boston a little bit, but then like when you start getting into like the New York, DC area, I think it's supposed to be hot still. So no reprieve really. From
because I wasn't sure Boston when I went out to San Francisco for a conference, something that I did not adequately prepare for was because I'd heard about them, but I didn't think they were this severe, was the microclimates within San Francisco of just like how like when we were in one area was like, oh, it's so hot here, and I was in shorts and like a short sleeve shirt, and then it was a little bit later in the day, but we were down by the bay, and it was like really cold and drizzling. And I was like, I did not plan accordingly. So
that's true. Well, the ocean current over there is going the opposite direction, right? So you get a lot more cold water current over there. East Coast is that's the Gulf Stream, so that's warm water coming up from the Caribbean. So sort of moderates, and the coast is generally pretty warm-ish. Mm-hmm. So I'm really expecting it just to be like warm to hot. I don't know. It might rain. I don't really have a good rain solution. So that's the thing I didn't think about just right now.
I'll loan you my umbrella hat.
Just have help. To be soggy, I guess. I don't really know because I didn't want to go. This is Operation Travel Light, right? We're going minimalist luggage this time. Gonna try it out, see how we go.
Okay.
Never attempted this before. Could be good. Could be utter catastrophe. Who knows? See, I guess it'd be fine.
Are you all right? So you're not going to try? You're going to try and not check any bags or anything?
Yeah. Carry on, man.
Nice. It's really nice. We have traveled like that a couple times, and you stress out about it. But then, like when you're when you like just get on the plane and then you just get off, it's like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. Like this is so nice. But then, but when you're preparing, because you're like, oh, I only have one of these, or I only have this or this. But like just the getting on and off the plane, like that whole experience is wonderful.
Yeah. And since it's like a multi-city thing, right? I feel like that's just the solution. You know what I mean? Because like just keeping track of stuff just easier, right? Like it's just like less things, just like a bag done, right? Like not worrying about it too much or anything like that. So it's a plan. See how the plan goes. I got a sweet carry-on backpack thing, so that's handy.
Okay,
because that'll make it easier to keep track of it and stuff. I don't like rolling things around; it's in the way. So
and
it's backpack strap. So boom, problem solved.
Solved, yes. And one of my things was always just like, because you can shove clothes into a duffel bag pretty easily. But like,
yeah,
you also have other things that you're taking that don't shove nicely. Like, you have charging cables, and you'll have books, and you'll have like electronic stuff, or you have shampoo, and like those items are what to me really make a lot of that bulky and problematic, because you're trying to pad around those. You can't just shove and cram and whatever, and like that's what makes it pretty awkward in some instances.
That's true. But I'm just going to be taking my phone and stuff, because my laptop is very ancient. And I'm not bringing that because it's super old. Really needs an upgrade. Don't tell it. I don't want to hurt its feelings, but that's
we heard nothing. We heard nothing.
That's what
you're doing great, little buddy. Keep it up.
Pat.
So they're there.
Yeah.
But that'll be nice too.
Yeah. So as far as that goes, hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get the plan. Start laying stuff out here. Being like, how many socks does a person need if they're gonna go?
Sure.
Don't want to go light on the socks, right? That's one thing you don't want to.
No, you don't. Nope. Never have too many socks.
Be like one shirt and like 50 pairs of socks. Like, I'm ready. I was like, Lieutenant Dan said, I got to make sure I watch out for my feet. So I got to go.
Well,
But yeah, no, it'll be fun, I think. Just hasn't really set in that I'm leaving yet. It's one of those things like I've known about this for a very long time. And then it's like, it's always been like very far away. And now it's like next week. I'm like, oh, wait.
It's suddenly very real. You're like, oh, yeah, that's like, right.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Isn't that...
Am I actually ready for this? I don't know the answer to that question.
Isn't that weird, though, about how that happens with life? It's just like... I think it just the life events in general, about how good our brains are. It's just like pushing it off, and like that subtle denial that comes in at times to just like, no, that's not real. But I guess that's part of our, like, we are so experiential that it really isn't real until we're actually doing that. And I think that's good in some cases, because then, I mean, rationally you would go, okay, well, the fears, the anxieties aren't real until I'm actually experiencing them. But we tend not to focus on it in that way, right? Where we go, no, all of those potential things are very top of mind, but the actual event itself isn't real until I'm sitting on the plane, or I'm in Boston or whatever.
Yeah, or I have to wake up mega early to go to the airport.
Yeah, how early are you getting up?
Well, that's a good question. We have to be at the airport at like our flight is somewhere around 6 o'clock in the morning.
Ew.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think it means you have to be at the airport by at least 5 o'clock in the morning. So that means I'm gonna have to get up really, really early.
Okay.
And be distressed. Mostly because I cannot sleep on airplanes. Like, it is the hardest thing in the world.
I don't know how people do it. I can't. Genuinely.
Like, I can't. Like, if I do, it's like naps, right? Like micro naps. Like, you like sleep for like, it feels like 20 minutes, right? Yeah. And so I think that first day is going to be terrible, because I'm going to have to get up mega early, and then,
you're also losing time that day because you're traveling out to the east.
And then, but then once we get there, I think it's like go time, right? Like, all right, we got to get ready to get our stuff, and then we got to go off to start doing, here, blah, blah. So it's like,
yeah. It starts. I think part of it for me is it's the like sleeping in public thing of like, that's what I can't. I can't let my guard down enough to do that. Of like, but there are people around, right? Like there are people here.
I've never really thought about it that way before. That's not the thing that bothers me. Like, I can't sleep in like a car.
Is it the sitting upright thing, or is it the movement?
I think maybe. Or maybe. I don't know. I can sleep on the couch just fine. But it might be the movement, the motion thing. It might be that. I'm not real sure. But I can't sleep in the car hardly at all. So plane, much worse. It's much less comfortable than a car. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Already. So because I mean, fitting in an airplane seat, not just super great, but I don't see myself as a big person, right? But I am.
Well,
you know what I mean? I'm very I don't think of myself that way, yeah. But when you look at other people, oh, I am kind of bigger, and then sitting in an airplane seat, just oh no, I don't know how people do this, actual big people, real tall people, or how does this work? What in the world is going on?
Well, I mean, yeah, you're not like a big person until you sit in an airplane seat. That makes anybody feel claustrophobic, right?
That's I feel really conscious about how wide my shoulders are. Oh no.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't fit in this. You have to sit all hunched. I'm oh, I don't want to
for me
punch in and
for me, it's how long are my femurs? Wow! Oh
yeah.
I didn't realize they were that stuck
just
out that
already
far.
Way over there. Yeah, that's oh no.
But that'll be an exciting trip, and you get to have some history. Hopefully, you can incorporate some of your own photos in your presentations now when you talk to your students.
That's true.
I don't know if do you cover.
I don't.
Okay, well,
but my friend does, so
okay,
that'd be good for her.
There you go. Yeah. You should at least try and sneak them in at some point and do a tangent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are going to some museums too, right? So there could be potentially something.
Yeah, some
that's the other dilemma
I have
to think about, right? Because I think when we're in DC, we're going to the Smithsonian, right? But I think it's just okay, go.
And
I think we just have X amount of time, so it's which one am I gonna go to? That's the real problem here. It's 9 or something ridiculous, right? So in my few hours here, where do I go?
Well, that's when I took that school trip and we went to the Louvre. And they were well, you have 2 hours or whatever. And it was oh my, we were literally running through that entire thing. And looking back, that was a poor choice. Should have had more.
Yeah, but they always
a plan.
That's how it works, right? You're just oh, we have some time and we want to fit this in and blah, blah, blah. So go. It's oh, I mean, we did that in Auckland, right? They're here's this museum. And it was really big.
Yeah.
It's oh no, we don't have very much time. Run.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so hopefully you have a little bit of time to plan that out. Do you have an inkling of where you'd like to go? Or are you still?
Sure. I don't even remember how many buildings there are, so I have to gonna have to do some research this week and be which one? Where? What part are we gonna target for this?
Yeah.
Because there's 20 bazillion things here. The place is enormous, so I don't. That's a little overwhelming, right? Oh no, what do I do? How does this work? How do I maximize my time here? Because it's gonna be rough, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think you're up for the challenge.
We'll give it a try. It'll be. I think it's our last day too, so.
Oh yeah.
Maybe kind of
Just a few espresso shots to really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I look forward to that report.
Indeed.
And everything. So, well, good. Okay. And yeah, I think next time we will tackle the first. Do you want how? Okay. We'll transition. Reading here. Do you want to do 1 chapter, 2 chapters at a time? How do you want to approach this?
Okay, well, there's 19 chapters.
Okay.
So do with that. I feel like one chapter at a time, maybe not the most efficient way to do this.
No.
Right. But I feel like our first one definitely should probably just be like one chapter. Right.
Okay.
Because then we could talk about like, we could review our own histories with like Tolkien and other things and have some like other stuff to go on here. And then we can just do like introductory stuff, you know, and then do one chapter at least for the first one.
Okay.
And
I agree.
And then we could do 2 at a time after that if you want to do, or it just kind of depends. We'll see where we are. See how. Yeah. I think be like 1 to 2 based on timing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Your schedule mostly because after next week. I got 1 week of stuff going on, and then after that, I got nothing. So,
okay.
Yeah,
I think we can definitely do 2, especially because we do 19, and some of these are they're not too long of chapters. I mean, some of them are pretty meaty, but they're not too terrible. So I think that'll help us get through it a little bit quicker and
make them super long and then
make the most of our time. Yeah.
Because some of these, like you said, some of these aren't super. Yeah, the next, I just pulled out my book here. Like chapter 1's pretty long, but then like chapter 2 is not that bad, and chapter 3 isn't really that long at all. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we should plan on doing 2 at a time to make the most of that. So okay. So
that way it's not like a million-part series.
Yeah. Well, actually, we can actually get through it.
That's true too.
So, all right. Well, we will do that. So for next time, we'll
some of these chapters are really short. I'm just flipping through the book right now. So
yeah, and so we may adjust, but I think we should have a goal of doing at least 2. We may tack on a 3rd, depending.
I mean, towards the end, like the ending chapters are very short.
Yes, yeah, because they start going plick, 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 plick through that. So
right, these last 13. That one's not very long. Or so we'll see once we'll evaluate towards the end. But like that chapter was like 3 pages. So
okay, yeah, that's what I remembered. So I didn't think they were too bad because it's not a big book. So okay, well we will. Really.
My copy is only 276 pages, so
yeah. Okay. Well, we will do that. We'll tackle an unexpected journey of they're back again, Hobbit's Tale, and go from there. Okay, I like it.
All right, me too.
Cool. Well, go forth, conquer, and. So much breathe. Oh, it's so hard because I'm going to want to. Well, I just have to talk offline about the doctor thing and whatever. It just so
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, but we'll Hobbit next time, everybody. Hobbit. Okay, very good, very good. Well, we will do that.
All right.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.